Hi everyone, it's me True Brilliance here with another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about money. Yes, we're going to be talking about money. I got my money plant right here because we're going to be talking about the greenery in today's video, and we're going to be talking about the money houses in the natal chart and how to find your abundance and your wealth in your natal chart. Now, everybody has the ability to make money in their natal chart or just in their life in general. Even though you may have been born with some bad aspects to your Venus, and you may have some squares to your Venus, some oppositions to your Venus, or just a lot of the malefic planets in your second house, there's still ways that you can capitalize off of your second house, which is what we're going to be talking about a lot in this video, by tapping into the energy of the ruler of your second house and that sign's energy. We're also going to be talking about the sixth house of your daily work and your daily work routine, and your daily work habits. We're going to be talking about the ruler of the sixth house, and we're also going to be talking about the ruler of the 10th house, which is your overall career, public status, your public standing, and your overall life purpose. So all three of these houses are connected in the natal chart, and you really need to pay attention to the relationship of the rulers of your earth houses to better figure out how you can make money in your life and just attract more wealth and abundance. You can even make up and perform rituals based off of this energy. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about is astro alchemy, astro geometry, and astro magic, which is something that me and my business partner E-Queen have been creating and talking about for the past 6 months. We have a lot of amazing courses that are going to be coming out for you guys this summer, dealing with astro alchemy and how you can actually transmute and transform your natal placements into energies that can work better for you. Okay, you guys, so we're kind of putting together different formulas and things like that, using geometry, using, of course, formulas dealing with alchemy, using mathematics, and also using magic, ritual, in order to create the natal chart that you want, basically. So I'm not going to give away too much information about this because this is like top secret alchemy, high level elitist shit that we are doing, and it's going to be available in our elite classes that we're going to be teaching. But this video is kind of going to let you tap into that energy and kind of see a little bit of how you can play around with your energies in your natal chart. I also want to let you guys know that this video is based off of a report that I already offer on my website. So I have a report on my website, an astrology report that I offer called the Wealth and Abundance Report. And it basically talks about exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So this is kind of giving you free game. But if you do want to go ahead and order the report from me, I'm going to go in way more in depth with you about this and explain things that I'm not going to be explaining in this video. So I'll put the links down below if you guys would like to order that report from me. But this is great for people that really struggle with money issues or struggle with manifesting material things into their life, manifesting security, and just attracting wealth and abundance. If you're struggling with any of those things, this is definitely something that you need to look into, okay? Okay, so let's talk about the second house, okay? The second house, as well as I also left out the 8th house, which we'll get to the 8th house in a second. Now, the second house is really, really important for your finances, okay? So your second house is your earned income, how you make money to support yourself and yourself only, okay? Or, of course, if you have children, how you support you and your children. But the second house just has to deal with your money, your individual money by itself, okay? And how much you are able to pull in income for yourself, how you are able to provide for yourself. So the natural ruler of the second house is Taurus, okay? So obviously, if you have Taurus ruling your second house, then you're already 10 steps ahead of the game. You already have huge leeway on other people. Now, of course, it's going to depend upon what planets are sitting in your second house, because that's going to influence you as well. But Taurus rules over growth and abundance. That's why I have this plant here. And how you can plant seeds in your life in order to grow wealth, in order to grow and attract money into your life. So what a lot of people are doing is people are not paying attention to what sign rules their second house. Because whatever sign is ruling your second house, that's telling you how you are supposed to be making money in this lifetime, or the easiest way for you to make money. Now, of course, you can do other things outside of the ruler or sign of your second house to make money, but it's not going to be as easy as if you were to tap into the rulership of your second house, because that is the natural way that you were supposed to be making money. This is why it is so important to follow your natal chart and to really study your natal chart and know where your energies lie and what you are naturally good at, because your natal chart and your rulerships is showing you what you are naturally good at, not what you have to break a sweat or work extra hard in order to get. So yes, you can make money in any way, shape, or form. Yes, anybody can do it. But if you want to make money the easy way, then you need to tap into the ruler of your second house and also look at the planets that are in your second house, okay? So we're gonna use my chart as an example, okay? So all water signs all rule all of my earth houses, okay? So since we're talking about the earth houses in this video, we're talking about the second house, the sixth house, and the 10th house. I have water signs that rule all of my earth houses, okay? So obviously that is telling me that tapping into psychic ability, doing spiritual work, sharing of the emotions, psychology, healing professions are the best way for me to work and provide for myself and to have a career for myself. Okay, I have Cancer on my 10th house. That's telling me that healing and nurturing people is my overall life purpose. And that is the way that I will be remembered by the people. That is the way that I will be known by the masses, as a nurturer, as someone who heals people, because Cancer is a very healing energy. With Scorpio being on my second house, that's telling me that psychology is a way that I can make money. Tapping into other people's minds, tapping into other people's feelings, tapping into other people's resources is the best way for me to pull in money for myself. Transforming people's lives, transforming people's psyche and the way that they think is the best way for me to make money for myself, which is why I do the work that I do. The work that I do is in my natal chart. I was born to do what I'm doing right now. That's why it's working so well for me. So just as a little disclaimer, a lot of people are out here trying to do things that's not naturally indicated in their natal chart, and they weren't really born to be healers. They weren't really born to be psychics. They weren't really born to be tarot readers. Okay, but they're just doing it because they want to make money, or they want popularity, or for whatever reasons that they want. But it's not going to work as smoothly for them as it is going to work for somebody that has the energy in their chart that states that that's what they're supposed to be doing. Does that make sense? Because like I said, anybody can do it, but the people that it's actually going to work for are the people who have it in their chart to do that. Okay, and this is why I have been able to create so much wealth off of doing this, is because this is what I'm naturally supposed to be doing with my life. And it took me a while to come to this point. I wasn't always doing this work. Okay, but it's like now that I finally am doing this work, it's working out for me. It's blowing up because, again, this is the blueprint of my life. And that comes back to the second house being about growth, okay? Like I said, growing your finances, okay? And so also sixth house rules your daily work, okay? It rules your daily work routine, your day-to-day job, your day-to-day work that you do, okay? And I have Pisces that rules my sixth house, okay? So obviously Pisces, that's tapping into psychic ability, okay? And again, Pisces is healing work as well, or using compassion, using my psychic abilities in order to, you know, tap into other people's lives and things like that. And I do work in a Pisces type setting every day of my life. That's what I do for work, is very Piscean, okay? Because I do have to use my psychic ability in order to do that. Okay, so when you have water signs ruling your earth houses, or if you have water signs ruling your second house, okay, if you have Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer ruling your second house, it is very, very likely that you are supposed to be doing spiritual work in order to make money, or you are supposed to be healing people, or you are supposed to be serving people in some sort of way, or you are supposed to be tapping into the emotions in some sort of way, or tapping into other people's emotions, because water energy is about penetrating other people's energy. Okay, and that is a good way for you to make money. So spiritual work is a really good way for water sign rulers of the second house to make money. Okay, now let's talk about other rulership. Let's talk about air signs. Okay, if you have air signs that rule the second, the sixth, or the 10th house, then communication will play a huge role in your work and how you can make money. Being involved in media. So social media and communicating with the masses, making connections with people, exchanging ideas, okay? So being a media host, a talk show host, having a podcast, writing a blog that you send out to people, writing books, being an author, okay, publishing information to the masses, especially if you have Gemini on the midheaven, which is the 10th house, okay, and really any of the air signs, but mostly Gemini, like Gemini on the 10th house or Gemini on the second house, you can make money from writing, okay, or some type of ongoing verbal communication where you are giving out information to people, okay? Libra, if you have Libra on the second house or the 10th house or one of those things, now this can definitely have to deal with beauty as well. So it could be using your beauty. I always tell people when they have like Libra on the second house, I always tell them you need to use your beauty and your looks to make money. Okay, yes, like be a model, okay, an Instagram model, make beauty videos, beauty vlogs, especially if you have Libra ruling the 10th house, okay? Beauty moguls, I bet you a lot of these beauty moguls have Libra on the 10th house, okay? Or Libra on the second house, or Libra on the 6th house for your daily work that you do. But if you're looking to make money, Libra on the second house, doing anything in the beauty industry or anything that has to deal with relationships, okay? So you could be a relationship expert, okay? You can be a relationship counselor, okay? And you can make money off of that, specializing in relationships. And going back to Scorpio, another thing about Scorpio ruling my second house, or Scorpio ruling the 10th house, this can have to deal with sex as well. It can even be sex work, but it can be, it can have to deal with talking about sexuality and things like that, or making money through the sex industry, okay? Just keeping it all the way real. Even with Scorpio ruling the 10th house, you can be known, you can be publicly known, because the 10th house is what you are known for in the world, okay? So you could be known for something to have to deal with that, or the psychology of sex. Okay, so are you guys kind of getting my drift? Okay, so Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a little bit different. So having Aquarius on the 2nd, 10th, or 6th house means that your work, your line of work is very unusual, okay? It's not something that's mainstream. It's something that's outside of the box. Especially if you have Aquarius on the 10th house, your career, you cannot have an ordinary career, okay? You just can't. That's why every time you try to have an ordinary career and try to fit in with everyone else, it just does not work for you. Because Aquarius on the 10th house, you are supposed to kind of create your own career, okay? So it's like you're supposed to innovate, because Aquarius is about innovation. So, you know, or being the first one to come up with a new idea for a career that nobody else has ever came up with. So having Aquarius on the 10th is actually a very fun ruler for the 10th house. But it can get a little bit scary because it's like you're going into uncharted territory where nobody else has went before, and you know, you're kind of taking a chance because Aquarius is about taking risks, right? And stepping outside of the box and trying new things. If you have Aquarius on the second house, the way that you make money is very unconventional. Okay. Also, the way that you make money can be very unpredictable. Okay. And this can get a little shaky having Aquarius rule in your second house because your finances can be very up and down. When you have Aquarius rule in the sixth house, it's your day-to-day routine and your day-to-day work can be very erratic and unpredictable. Okay. So a lot of people that are famous or celebrities have Aquarius ruling their 10th or their second or their sixth house, believe it or not, because their lives are very unusual. Their schedules are very unusual. Because keep in mind, sixth house rules our daily schedule. It rules our daily routine. And of course, if you're a celebrity, you don't really have a daily routine. Your daily routine is different every single day. Okay, so then let's move on to the fire signs, okay? If you have fire signs ruling your second, your sixth, or your 10th house, this means that this is fun because this means that you are supposed to be an inspiration, okay? So you are supposed to be in the performance arts. So say if you have like Leo ruling your second house, that's clear as day right there. You are supposed to be, if you were to be a performer, be somebody on stage, okay? Be somebody that is out inspiring people on a day-to-day basis, being a YouTube star, being an actress or an actor, may be the way that you make your money, okay? But the way that you make your money, it's like you would make your money in a very dramatic way. Okay, a way that makes a huge splash in life, something that attracts a lot of attention to yourself. If you have Leo on the 10th house, this naturally can bring you a lot of fame, just like naturally. But again, it's kind of the same as with the second house, anything that has to deal with performance arts, being somebody that is on stage in some sort of way, being a singer or rapper or something like that. Entertainment. I always think of Leo ruling the 10th or the second house. The entertainment industry would be really good for you to make money or just for your overall career. Okay. Aries, like if you have Aries on the second house, this means that you would need to try a lot of new things and new ways to make money. So you would need to be very innovative with Aries ruling the second house as well. But being a leader in some sort of way. So leading something where people follow you. Also, it can be, Aries has to deal with inspiring people as well, or being the first to do something, first to try something. Sagittarius, if you have Sagittarius on your second house, this can have to deal with teaching, okay? Teaching people information or being a spiritual guru, okay? Being somebody that, yeah, is like a professor or something like that, or something to deal with spirituality. If you have Sagittarius on the 10th house, you can travel, okay? You could travel for a living or travel for your career, or something that deals with foreign cultures in some sort of way. Maybe you are, you work in a foreign country, or you work with a lot of different nations, okay? Having Sagittarius on, you know, the 10th house can definitely take you to a lot of foreign countries and things that are outside of your comfort zone. But Sagittarius ruling the 10th house is definitely not something that is a boring profession at all, okay? So it'd be something that's very exciting, always changing. Okay, but it definitely, like Sagittarius on the second house, the way for you to make money is by doing something that definitely inspires you, okay? Something that gets your fire going, okay? So I really don't recommend people that have fire signs ruling their second, their sixth, and their 10th house. You can't be in a dead-end, boring job. And you can't make your money in a boring way. The way that you make your money has to excite you. Your day-to-day routine has to excite you. It has to inspire you in some sort of way. Okay? If you're just sitting in a cubicle in an office somewhere with fire signs ruling your earth houses, you're just going to be bored to death. You're always going to feel restless. You're going to feel like you have no purpose, and you're just going to feel like your inner fire is just put out. So it's really actually fun having fire signs ruling your second house, because it means that you have a lot of energy behind how you make money, but it also can be very up in the air. It's kind of like living on the edge when you have fire signs ruling your second house, because the way that you make your money, it can be very unpredictable, you know, with fire signs, but it can also be something that's very exciting, and it needs to be something that you're taking risks at doing. Okay, so you're kind of going out on the limb. You're being a risk taker when it comes to how you make money. Okay. And then last but not least, when you have the earth signs ruling your earth houses, you already kind of have it a little bit easy, because, you know, the energy is matching up. You have earth signs ruling your earth houses. So this makes you really hard workers. But the thing is that you can feel very overworked and tired, and it can be a little stressful having earth signs ruling your earth houses, because it's like you have to work harder. You're going to feel like you have to work harder than other people in your career and in the way that you make money. But you guys have the ability to make a shit ton of money, okay? With Capricorn ruling the second house, you have the ability to make a lot of money, but it's going to come slowly, okay? And it may come later in life, because we know Capricorn is about maturity. Taurus ruling the second house, you're good as long as you follow a daily routine, okay? And you continue to plant those seeds. Virgo ruling the second house is really good, because you're going to have a really good work ethic when it comes to how you make your money. So you're going to be somebody that's going to work at it every single day. You are somebody that is not going to want to be broke under any circumstance, because you're really going to value money, and you're going to be willing and able to work hard for it. Having Capricorn on the 10th, it's at home. So this is amazing, but you're going to have to work really hard in order to achieve success. Virgo in the 10th house, doing some type of detailed work, working with the details of things. So, you know, breaking things down into little pieces. I know somebody that had Virgo ruling the 10th house, and they were a jewelry maker. And I was like, that's perfect for Virgo in the 10th house, because that's working with the small details of things. Also being a designer would be really good. Clothing design. So another thing with earth signs ruling your earth houses is being a producer in some sort of way. So selling things, selling goods, selling clothing designers, very, very good. Food production, okay, working in the food industry, because that's dealing with the earth. Anything that has to deal with farming, you know, being vegan, the natural food life is really, really good for that. Anything that has to deal with a naturalist lifestyle, even like just taking care of the body, exercising, things like that are really good. And even the beauty industry, the earth signs ruling the earth houses can be the beauty industry as well, because that has to deal with the body. Okay, so anything of that nature. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about planets being in the houses. So now that we got the rulership right with the houses, we need to talk about the planets. Now, the planets that sit inside the second house, the sixth house, or the 10th house is very, very significant. Of course, that's going to change the frequency. So a lot of what I just said mainly applies if those houses are empty, it's definitely going to apply. But if you have planets in that house, you definitely have to take into consideration the planets that are in that house plus the ruler of that house, okay? Both are going to be extremely important. And most of the time, whatever planet is sitting in that house is going to supersede the ruler of that house. The ruler of that house is still going to be important, but the planet that sits in it is definitely like lordship as well, and is going to have a heavy influence on that energy. So like if you have Pluto in the second house, you can be very obsessive about your money, and you can be like a control freak when it comes to your money, and you can be very, very intense about money and how you make money. Pluto in the second house adds this obsessive quality to money, okay? And it can get out of hand, okay? And it also can make somebody very greedy in the way that they make money and want power and control when it comes to money. The sun in the second house, a lot of the times when you have the sun in the second house, your identity is bound up with money and possessions and how you make money. So a lot of the times a lot of your ego can be wrapped up in what it is that you own when you have the sun in the second house. So you can identify very strongly with what it is that you have, because the second house is I have, I own. Okay, I have a best friend that has sun in the second house, and this girl stays having money. She stays having money, but it's like a lot of her ego and identity is wrapped up in having high quality things, expensive things, designer things. And I'm not saying everybody that has sun in the second house is like that, but this is one way that it can manifest, okay? Moon in the second house will mean that you have a very strong emotional connection to your money and your possessions. So this can get out of hand as well if you're too emotionally invested in what it is that you own and your money. It can be like you don't feel emotionally secure unless you have money in the bank, okay? And when you don't have money in the bank, you can feel very sad, you can feel very depressed. Okay, and it also can give the ability for your income and your finances to fluctuate a lot, okay? Mercury in the second house, you can use your mouth to make money, okay? So you can use communication to make money. You can be, you know, a spokesperson for selling things, okay? That's how I see this. You can be a car salesman, or you can be a salesman selling material goods. Having Mercury in the second house will work really well with that. Venus in the second house, of course, is amazing. Venus is the ruler of the second house. So honestly, when you have Venus in the second house, it's like you really don't have to do much in order to attract money and possessions. But it can also just mean that you love your security and your comfort. You may love your comfort food. You may just love your luxuries. You may just be the type of person that has to have your luxuries. You have to have your nails done. You have to have your hair done. You have to buy the most expensive makeup. You know, you have to look your best. You may be really into beauty and things like that, and just luxuriating, just all in all, you know. Mars in the second house can make you very motivated when it comes to making money. Some people that have Mars in the second house can be very much attracted to get rich quick schemes, because Mars is all about quick action and wanting to get things really fast. So these people can like fast money. When you have Mars in the second house, you can like really fast money. But people that have Mars in the second house can also have a spending problem, because, you know, Mars is very impulsive. So it's like they can just spend their money super, super quick, but then they can also make it back just as fast. It can also make you a hothead when it comes to money. You know, if people steal from you or if people take your money for you, you can get in fights with people about it. You can be ready to knock somebody's head off over your money. Okay, so it can cause a lot of arguments and fights over money. Jupiter in the second house is extremely fortunate. I'm sure you guys know why. Jupiter in the second definitely is about expanding the finances and expanding opportunities to make money. So just because you have Jupiter in the second house, it does not mean that you're automatically rich just outside the gate. No, Jupiter just brings you lots of opportunities to get rich or to make money. So when you have Jupiter in the second house, you're always going to be provided with opportunities to provide income for yourself. Jupiter in the second house can also just bring you a lot of creature comforts, but it can also make you very self-indulgent. So you can indulge a lot, and you may not know your limitations or know where to stop or when to stop accumulating things and accumulating items, okay? So you have to be careful with Jupiter in the second. Jupiter in the second isn't all good, because people have the tendency to go overboard. Jupiter in the second house can have the ability to go overboard, okay, and not know their limitations, because Jupiter can have problems with knowing his limitations. Saturn in the second house can be very hard, because Saturn likes to limit things. So it can definitely limit your finances when you have Saturn in the second house. It can limit your finances. It can even bring poverty, especially in the early parts of your life. A lot of people that have Saturn in the second house grew up poor, or their family didn't have that much money. So it kind of ingrains a fear consciousness into their mind about money. So they may be always worried about money. Even if you have money, you're still going to be worried about losing it. So people that have Saturn in the second have to gain and learn a lot of confidence when it comes to their money, and you know, learn that it's okay to spend your money. It's okay to want nice things for yourself. It's okay to indulge a little bit. It's okay to spend money on yourself. And Saturn in the second house people really need to congratulate themselves and reward themselves when they do something. Like spend money on a vacation for yourself. If you've been working your ass off for the money that you have, go on a vacation. Okay, go on a trip to the spa, get your hair done, you know, get your nails done. It's very, very important to still pamper yourself. People that have Saturn in the second may not really pamper themselves that much. Because the second house is also about luxuriating, okay? Second house is about luxuriating, okay? I have my Venus in Taurus, so I love luxuriating. So it's about just taking care of yourself and just doing fun little pamper stuff for yourself just because it makes you feel good. Because you guys have to remember, second house is about self-worth and self-value. That's why it rules your net worth. Self-worth before net worth, okay? Remember that. Self-worth equals net worth, okay? It's the same thing. Internal versus external, okay? So when you have high self-worth, internally, you have high net worth. Externally, okay? That's how it works. A little tip there. Uranus. Now, Uranus in the second house can make your finances and the way that you make money very unpredictable. It can make it very up and down. It can make it very unexpected. But one of the good things about Uranus in the second house is, one, you're not going to become entrapped by the way that you make money, because you need a lot of freedom in the way that you make money. So these people do not like to work a 9-to-5. They cannot stand working a 9-to-5 because they don't believe that they should have to work their asses off to make their money. They're like, I want to make my money while I'm sitting on a beach, laid back, kick back, relaxing, or, you know, like I don't want to have to, I need freedom in the way that I make my money. So Uranus in second house people have to be very innovative with the way that they make their money. They have to make their money in a way that allows them to still have their freedom. This is very, very important. I have my Uranus in the second house. So yeah, I need a lot of freedom in the way that I make my money, for sure. So yeah, and the way that you make your money, it's like you need to come up with your own way to make your money. You need to create your own way, okay? You need to, the way that you make money is going to be very unusual and outside of the box. And people may look at you like, oh, that's weird. But it's like you can't fall into convention when it comes to how you make your money. Like you can't do what everybody else is doing to make money. You have to create your own way. Neptune in the second house. Now, Neptune in the second house, Neptune in Pisces in 12th house is a very dualistic energy for me. It's so dualistic. So when I think about Neptune in the second house, I think of a very positive manifestation of this, and then I think about a really negative manifestation, because I feel like it can literally go both ways. On the positive side of it, Neptune in the second house, you can make your money through spiritual means, okay? So I think psychics, when you have Neptune in the second house, I think this is a great position for psychics, because I feel like you can make a lot of money through doing psychic work or spiritual work or healing people in some sort of way, or doing something that is, you're being compassionate to people. On the flip side of it, Neptune in the second house can be really bad, because it can mean you have a lot of illusions around money and the value of things. So you may overestimate yourself a lot of the times, and there's like, you can lack realism when it comes to money and finances. So you can overindulge, you can overspend, you can not know your limitations as well with Neptune, because Neptune is a sign of no boundaries. So you can have a real hard time being grounded, having Neptune ruling your second house, okay? So you would really have to focus on your earth energy. And, you know, make sure also self-sacrifice can be a problem as well, or financial sacrifice can be a problem with Neptune in the second. So these people can just give away their money to people, or always let people borrow money from them, or people are always taking money from them because they're always sacrificing their income. Something really important to think about, okay? Chiron in the second house, you can have a deep wound around self-worth and self-value and money. So Chiron in the second house isn't easy. I've seen people that have Chiron in the second house always feel like they have to prove their self-worth and their self-value to people. Like, I used to date a guy that had Chiron in his second house, and all he used to do is show off his money and how much money he had. And I can clearly see that he was overcompensating for an insecurity that he had. And obviously he was insecure because I think he grew up like not having a lot of money. And so when he finally got money, I think growing up without having a lot of money damaged his ego a lot. So then when he finally got money, he felt like he had to show it off to everybody and show it in every picture and show it in everything that he did. And then I was just like, okay, dude, chill. Like, I know that you have money. That's fine. But, you know, that's not the reason why I'm dating you. You know, cool, you got money. Kudos, you know, like, what else? What else do you have besides that? So, but that's just one example. I'm not saying everybody that has Chiron in the second house does this, but that's just an example. There's some type of wound, ego wound, dealing with your self-worth and your self-value. So these people may feel like they have to overcompensate when it comes to their self-worth or their self-value, or they may feel like they have to go out and buy super expensive things just to prove that they have value. Okay, so you would have to work on those issues. Okay. So yeah, we just went through all of the planets in the second house. And this video is mainly about the second house. I know I talked about the 10th and the 6th house, but this is about wealth and abundance. So I just wanted to give you guys a little insight about that so you guys can better understand your chart. So now you guys can go check out your chart and kind of understand on a deeper level where these things are coming from and how you can better capitalize off of your money houses, okay? Another money house that I didn't mention, though, is the 8th house, which I will probably talk about that at a later time. But the 8th house is about shared resources and shared money with other people. Okay, so the 8th house is how you can make money off of someone else or how you can make money with someone else. Okay, so keep that in mind. The ruler of the 8th house are planets that you have in the 8th house. Like, I have Venus in my 8th house, so I am able to make money with my lover. Okay, or I will marry someone that is very wealthy and is going to share their money with me. Or, you know, I can become more wealthy by joining my resources with someone else, but it's most likely a lover because my Venus is there. Okay, so that's just an example. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed these little jewels. True B's always dropping jewels because I want to help you guys. I'm not about keeping this wealth of information just to myself. I really want you guys to grow and evolve, and I want you guys to be the best that you can be. And the only way you can do that is by knowing your natal chart and capitalizing off of every goddamn placement in that natal chart, okay? So do what you got to do, and study that second house, okay? And start tapping into the planets that are there and tap into the sign that rules it, okay? Leave your commentaries down below. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm about to upload a bunch of videos, so I'll talk to you guys soon.